Good evening, everybody.
Welcome.
That had to be one of the best pictures. I was sitting in front of that tree.
I don't remember the tree. I just remember us having to go there, Jack.
Yeah.
So welcome and happy Sunday night at 7 p.m. We are all three getting a little older, and it takes us a couple hours in makeup. So please.
I have to take a nap.
And Colin had to take a nap, right?
Naps are fun.
Naps are good.
Naps are good. Embrace the nap. So welcome, everybody. Looks like DeBeard's already calling us old, right? We're just starting. Come on, dude. We've been going.
Man.
You got to help us out here, right? So happy Sunday, everybody. Hope everybody is well. Colin, if you don't mind, we welcome all of our visitors. Since Jack's show on Saturday mornings, Coffee with HCR, is so popular, he's probably still tired from all the welcomes he has to have. So we're going to let you do it this time.
If you add up the three of us, we're almost 170, something like that. 165, 170. So yeah, we're old. Bry the biker, first one in the group tonight. Real glad Andy talked about Bert earlier from Baggers and Brews, and DeBeard, same dude. Flipping the blue mule. Toby, how are you tonight? WS Keys on 3. HD AB Traveler, what's going on, man? How are you? Pete, 1800, living large in Florida. Mr. Bob Nelson, how are you doing, Bob? Chuck Hansen is in the house tonight. Ron Kelly, Ty from Tennessee, soon to be my future neighbor. Who else do we have here? From Australia, Robin the Lady Biker, how are you? The real Jackie Boy. Hopefully you and the missus are together tonight watching this. And let's see, did I miss anybody? Paul Beardsley, how are you? Let's see, keep going down. Be the Rider PA. And I believe that should be it. Two-wheeled Rocket, what's going on? That should be a good group of people starting out this stream. There you go.
What is this? You're Colin, right?
So
It's been a little while since we've been on. It has been a little while. So welcome back, guys. It is good to see you, other than talking to you in text, and we'll talk about that here in a little while. I feel like I know you guys more and more, even though we haven't been on Sunday nights. So what's the cocktails for everybody this evening?
Jack, you start it off.
Well, mine is actually called a longboard. It's a beer from Hawaii. It's actually from Kuna.
Mr. Bob, what are you drinking? Well, I guess I'll jump in. I'm drinking Snickers coffee. It's really good.
Nice.
I'm trying to wake up.
I started with water, but HDR peer pressured me into going and getting a couple beers. So, Colin, you'll be the odd one out.
I will be the odd one out. No imbibing tonight.
Yeah, a couple folks, Jack, want to know, did you have a shave party since your show yesterday morning?
Well, Mrs. HDR looked at it this morning, and when I was trimming on the side, I nicked the whole section out, so I had to take the whole thing off and regrow it later. So I was unbalanced.
You're unbalanced?
I was.
Oh God, we definitely don't want that now, do we? So it's nice to be back, guys. You know, kind of a little bit of the same format, just 4 or 5 topics for us to discuss. And then we are starting a new segment that I've been thinking about for at least 2 hours, called True or False. So that's coming. Oh, just wait for that.
Truth or Dare.
Not Truth or Dare. We're going to ask the lovely 50 people that are in to help us through that True or False, and it's probably going to get us in trouble. So, all right, let us get rolling. Colin, we're going to start with you. What the heck? I was looking back, it's been 5 or 6 months since we did this, which is totally wrong. We'll talk about the why in a minute, but of the three of us, you're
the
probably
why is let's put it that way.
Let's start it off, man. Big news.
Well, if you don't know this, I did a video yesterday announcing that I'm actually moving to Tennessee in 3 weeks, about 3.5 weeks. I will be there. So I'm actually heading down there in about a week to go find a place. And that's funny, I've been looking online, but we're actually meeting with a realtor down there, and it all happened very, very quickly. So I'm leaving my home state of Maryland, and I'm going to be going near the Knoxville area, Knoxville, Tennessee, and I'm going to be living near the Pigeon Forge. And a lot of probably riders have been through there with Smoky Mountain National Park, all the great roads out there, Chirahola, Tail. So I'm only going to be like 10, 15 miles away from some killer roads. So I am pumped. BoDean has already asked that when I find a new house, that I get him his own room, which I will oblige. So that's cool. But I'm really pumped. So it's bittersweet for sure. I mean, leaving this area, and if you guys don't know this, I've been out here close to 30 years, out in the DC, Northern Virginia, Maryland area. And so I got a lot of friends out here. I'm going to miss a lot of people. My daughter still lives in Northern Virginia. And so we're taking a huge trek. It's almost 10 and a half hours away from where I live now. So I'm very, very excited. But I will tell you guys, and I think I've vented to you guys, and I'm not going to do a video about it. But if you've ever moved before, I know, Bob, you have. It sucks. It's a major pain in the ass. So that's where I've been. So for the last basically 2.5, 3 months with work and then dealing with the move, I've kind of been absent from the live streams, and I've been kind of absent from YouTube as well, because I've got so much on my plate, and I can tell you guys some horror stories a little bit later about moving, but that's what I've been doing. But it's all coming to an end. Well, mostly, at least in the Maryland part, and then I'm going to pick it up once I get to the Knoxville area in a couple of weeks. So I am pumped. I'm excited. And appreciate all the words of support that people have given me over the last couple of weeks, and means a lot to me. And I hate, like, saying goodbye. I had to say goodbye to all my peers. They took me out last night, and they got me some really cool gifts. And it's hard saying goodbye to people, but I look forward to the next chapter. So that's what's going on with me.
Just as your friend, your move's been really inconvenient for our communication. Just so you're saying so.
I have screwed you guys up royally.
Yeah, but I think you'll be closer to all the meetups now.
Yeah.
Will you be closer? You'll be closer to Ohio, right?
Actually, I think it's about the same distance from where I'm going to from my house. But if I go to VAM, I think VAM's only like 2 hours away.
Oh yeah, that's close.
2.5 hours, if that. And now I can tell you guys, I'm not leaving. You just come visit me.
There you go.
Makes it easy on me.
That's right.
Since you're moving to a cool riding place, we'll do that.
Yes.
Yeah. And look how close I'm going to be. Ty from Tennessee. We're only going to be like an hour and a half apart. He lives in Chattanooga, so I'm not too far from him. So I'm excited.
Well, there goes us. There goes us, Bob. He's going to have a new friend closer.
Yes.
We are taking applications, and it can be called Sunday Night Fireside Chat with the boys and gals. By the way, if there's any females that want to join the team, so
they'll be doing dual vlogs all the time now.
Yeah, that's right. It's just you and I, Jack. That's how it started, dude. We're going to get back to that beginning, right?
That's right.
So, Jack, what have you been up to? I know you've been doing educating the world and doing some cool stuff on your motorcycle. I know we're going to talk about here in a little bit, but what have you been up to the last 5 or 6 months?
Yeah, pretty much just still the teaching thing, got that going on every day of the week. One thing nice about that, though, we're starting to wind down. We're almost in the last 9 weeks. So between that, writing 14 college papers this morning that I had to get in, that took me 4 hours. But and then building a new gym space in the basement. So that's going to be kind of nice, too. So we've been working on that. So, and a couple of modifications and upgrades to the bike. And, that I ordered the stage 1 kit for the Himalayan. So I got some parts coming in.
That's cool. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. As a matter of fact, you're building a gym in the basement. This is news to us. You're dropping info on us again.
Well, we used to have a treadmill in one of our upstairs rooms, but Miss HCR was kind of redesigning the room, so the treadmill had to go downstairs. It's like, well, so now we had to build a space to actually set some. We have a couple of gym pieces, not like stationary bike, treadmill, and a weight bench. So we're just going to create a little space in the basement that you can get down there and work out, get pumped up, lose about 50 pounds and get back in shape.
You watching YouTube videos while you're doing that?
And watching YouTube videos. Yeah. And I must tell you guys, I was talking to Ty today. YouTube Premium is worth the money. So
we
just
don't
to sit
want
down in
to
front of the TV.
we don't want to get into that debate because you and I have a difference of opinion on that.
Oh no,
one.
YouTube Premium, Bob. You still get paid. Look at your analytics, and at the bottom it'll say YouTube Premium funds and tell you how much you got from premium subscribers. So
Cool.
you still
People
get paid
don't
the
watch.
same.
If people don't watch the ad, it's not the same. But I get it. We got different info for sure. But yeah, I know ads can get challenging at times, right? For sure.
Yeah. I mean, hey,
I haven't worked out in like 20 years.
20 years.
And I'm still fit.
Yeah, you are. Well, you're still young. That's what it is.
I'm like, I got a six-pack, man.
Cool. Well, hey guys, I'll tell you what. I don't know about everybody else. People are talking about the 12 inches of snow they just had. It has been freezing in Michigan, and I've been sitting on the bike in the garage by myself with the lights out, just wishing for warmer weather. One of my bikes has been getting some work done at. We'll talk later. So I've been 5 or 6 weeks without that. So I'm glad it's back in the garage, but still too cold to go out. So it's been crazy, but it's definitely good to get back and see the three of you guys, and of course all of our friends in the chat, which is pretty awesome. So let's talk motorcycles. Colin, you're in Tennessee now. There's a lot going on. You're obviously not listening when I'm asking you a question. What are your riding plans this year, dude? Where are you going? What are you doing? I'm sure you're going to be at VAM now since you live right down there. And
I'm going to try. Yes, my plan is to definitely go for a day there, or a day or 2 days, since I'm very close. But I'm going with you. And what's the official name? OWN, correct?
Oh yes, OWN.
Ohio what?
Ohio Windy Nine meetup.
Windy Nine. Okay, so I'm doing that with you two and several other people. We're going to go to Athens again, and we did that. Was it last year, guys? We went, or the year before? No, it was last year.
Last year,
we went to Athens and rode 6 or 7 out of the Windy Nine, and then I'm going to do VAM, and then obviously I'm going to do a lot of exploring. So I might go down to Nashville later in the year in October for a meetup. I think it's in October. I got to find that out. But for the most part, I'm going to just be exploring the roads around me. Once I get settled, I think the first couple months is going to be pretty hectic. But once I get settled, I'm definitely going to take advantage of the summer roads out there.
Do the people at your new place of work realize that you're going to be like a part-timer most of the time in the summer? Or
they will once I get down there. Yeah. I failed to let them know that quite yet, but they'll learn soon.
That's pretty smart.
Wait until he gets down there and I'll be like, wait, new position. Now you got to build all your time up again. So now you have no time off.
Yep. I'm going to say I got to go take a lunch. I'll be back in about an hour. How about you, Jack?
Colin's going to pull up Jack on his bike right in front of the front door and leave it just right there and walk in his first day and go, I'm here, baby. Right?
I'm here, baby.
Yeah. So
he'll have his chains hanging off of his belt with his wallet.
Yeah, that's me.
There you go.
With all my tattoos and all that shit.
All your tats.
Jack, what are your riding plans?
Pretty much the same as you. I know we're definitely going to OWN. Myself and Miss HR is kicking around the idea of a trip. Somehow now she has us trailering our bike out to Idaho and then leaving the car in the trailer in Idaho and then taking the bike on from there to the West Coast. So I don't know yet. That's still up in the air. I know we're taking a long weekend. We're going to see Bob and his wife, Mrs. BoDean. And we're going to go up there. And Bob's going to show us some sights around Michigan. And is it Mackinac Island, I think it's called?
Mackinac, you got it right.
Yeah, we're going to try to go up around there. So a couple of plans.
Why are you going up to see him and not come see me?
Well, I was coming, and I always wanted to see Maryland. I really thought Maryland would be beautiful this time of year, but yeah, I don't know. Now you're in Tennessee. I mean, who goes to Tennessee?
Bob, can you mute him?
Dude, you're moving away on us. He's my pal. I don't know.
I know. We have to kind of stick together now because
it's like 7 hours from you.
Where did you might actually be closer to me now than what you were before.
I know. Don't use that crap about being closer.
Colin says you're going to need some prison ink. I don't know the whole story there, but we're going to talk about that, parole and all that stuff here in a little bit. I had a guy that made a comment on one of my videos today on the bars that said, if you get 14-inch bars and have a tattoo, you're a man. If you have 12-inch bars and no tattoo, you're not. I wasn't sure how to respond, so I haven't done that yet. But so Jack, it's own, right? That's going to be a big deal. That's Andy and McStash are running that. There are tons and tons of people that go in there, man. That could be VAM 2, right? Or VAM of Midwest or something, because that's seeming like it's going to be pretty big.
It sounds to me like it's going to be a pretty good turnout if everybody shows up. You know how sometimes how that goes. Everybody wants to go until the day they have to go, then they can't go. You know, that happens.
Exactly.
But it comes around that way. I mean, you know, I know we're booked. I mean, that's all that matters. But the three of us had a good adventure last year, and it was just three of us. So we will make a good time out of it, even if nobody shows up.
Hey, did I tell you the Airbnb house that I got us is down a dirt road? I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but
hey Bob,
figured it'd be a good time to talk about it now.
I think Chuck Hansen, pull up his comment there. I think that's great. Going to Boise, Idaho, and Niagara Falls, up through Maine. That's some amazing riding up north.
That's a good ride.
That's a really good ride. I'd love to actually ride in Idaho. That sounds great. You don't hear a lot about Idaho. I mean, they've got a lot of off-road, but Pacific Northwest, like Washington, they've got some beautiful areas out there.
Well, we're thinking of getting out to where do they live? Blacktop Devil. Where does he live at?
Omaha.
Oklahoma. Is it Omaha?
Or Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Or did he move?
Yeah, so we're thinking about going through Nebraska also and stopping to see him and his wife and talk to them. But what we got to try to work out, maybe somebody in the chat room knows now, is bunk a biker still a thing? Because we want to find somebody's property to leave our trailer in the car. If we would do that, you know, just leave it on their property somewhere. So they usually open up to camp, but we don't want to camp. We just want to leave the vehicle there so to be safe. But I don't know if it's still a thing or not. You don't hear anything about it anymore.
Live on the edge. Just go down there and work it out when you get there. It's always better, right?
Yeah, that's right. Just work it out.
So I'll tell you, the three of us are going to be at Own for sure with Ty from Tennessee. Unfortunately, I know Pete, who's kind of a part of our group, is going to be doing a trip on his own. We'll let him talk about when he's ready for that stuff. We don't want to ruin that. But I know Ricky KM reached out to me and talked about Americade in New York. I have not been up to that. It's a pretty good track. It's about 600 miles up there. And it's a couple weeks before the Ohio deal. And then it's a couple weeks from FAM. So I got to figure out what that schedule is going to look like. But, man, I sure would like to get at least 2, maybe even 3 trips in this year somehow. So
there you go, Bob. Take a 2-month road trip. Take you and put your wife on the back and take off.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, you can do the circuit.
There you go. There you go.
That'd be fun.
All right. Let's just talk. I know this has probably been beat to death. It's interesting how many people got on the let's make a video bandwagon right when the new Harley's law came out. Is there anything left to talk about other than maybe Ty from Tennessee getting like 5 different anniversary models that are going to be in his garage?
Was that first a dig at me because I made one of those? Just FYI, just asking.
No, I didn't see it. I'm sorry I didn't see that video. What do you think, Colin?
Honestly, I mean, they're okay. I mean, I think the prices are abhorrent, you know, with some of those high-end models, but I dig some of the colors, man. I mean, I like a couple of the new models. You know, I think Ty, like you said, Ty talks a lot about them. Some of the yellows I'm not so sure about. I know you guys are partial to those, but I wasn't. They're okay. I mean, nothing earth-shattering, honestly, this year. Kind of didn't expect a huge amount of change. I mean, a couple changes, but kind of a non-event, if you ask me, in my opinion.
Yeah. How about you, HDR? I know you've been back and forth about maybe getting a bike, maybe not, and doing stuff. Anything strike your fancy?
Yeah, not really. I think the one that Ty's looking at, the anniversary bike, is probably the nicest one they're coming out with. I mean, but you know, like some of the dealers are doing, guys, is the old markup game and not doing the MSRP. Apparently, Ty is getting his for MSRP. We talked the other day, and that's wonderful. But he has a different relationship with White Lightning. They know that he's going to be back every year to buy another bike, and they're making sure he's going to keep coming back. So,
well, he is on that multiple bikes a year buy and trade deal, isn't he? So
yeah. When did he buy the other one? Ty, when did he buy that last one?
I don't know. It's
a year ago.
Yeah, it's less than a year that he has his lowrider, I believe.
Lowrider, yeah.
But dude, we'd all do it if we could too. So
no, that's okay. That's great. I think it's wonderful. I mean, hey,
good for him. Good for him.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you don't watch Ty from Tennessee, you should. He has just gone crazy in the last 6 months to a year, and I am learning a lot from him on how he handles video and frames and all that stuff. So check him out. Plus, he's a pretty good guy. He's a little less of him than he used to be, but I'll let you look at that as well. So, dude, I don't know.
Less of him. I get it. You made a funny.
Less of him, right? So I think he's now some sort of fitness guru as well. So
him and HTR are going to do a collaboration.
The guy's got a shitload of value. I got to tell you, as a friend, he's just really good.
Yeah. Did you see that video? How I lost 35 pounds. I'm like,
exactly. Wow. Exactly. And notice that his wife was actually sitting next to him in this video. She hadn't been sitting next to him in the other videos. So, you know what? It's interesting. The new Harley lineup, every year, everybody gets excited. Every year people complain, and you don't get something. I don't know if anything was as special this year. I do got to say, I went to the dealership and I saw the orange and the yellow, which is probably not my style, but the color is really rich in person, right? But I think it's one of those, you'd buy it, put it in you think it'd be cool, it'd be in your garage, and you come out a month later and look at it and go, what the hell did I do? Right?
Yeah.
I just don't know if I can
pull it. Dropped 40 grand.
Yeah. 40 grand on the wrong color, right?
Yep.
G-Mac, that is for sure. We're going to definitely do some riding in the UP if Jack and his bride gets there. As long as we can get them both across the bridge without any panic, we'll be in good shape. So, Colin, you've been so busy. I don't know if you even know where your bikes are at, dude. I don't know how to ask you this, but have you had a chance?
They're in my garage, but they're surrounded by boxes. The only thing I've done recently is I've put new shoes on the Street Glide, which I really needed because they were getting kind of diabolically smooth, and all of a sudden I was losing some traction. I maxed out some mileage. I think I had like 19,000 on those, which is probably not the smartest thing before you get a change of tires. But what a difference once you get on those, man, and warmed them up a little bit. Huge. So I'm glad I did it, and because I'm taking that down, I'm actually riding that down first. My wife's following me behind me when I leave for down there. So I want to get that one ready.
Yeah. Hey,
that's all I've done. That's all I've done is just the tires in the last like 3 or 4 months to either bike.
DeBeard brought up Laconia. So many people talk about it.
Yeah, I forgot he's doing that.
How many people have been to that?
Where's it at?
New Hampshire.
Is it in New Hampshire?
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about that and seem to like that event for sure. So, Jack, I know there is a crap load of stuff been going on in your garage. Tell us about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Well, the first thing, you've seen the recent video with the True Beam custom dynamic headlight, and that's probably the most on the Harley. The Himalayan's getting some upgrades though, so I ordered the stage 1 kit. It's very interesting when you buy parts for the Himalayan. I know some people on here thinking about buying the bike. I can tell you it's well worth it, even though people go, you bought a junk bike. Why'd you buy that garbage? It's a $6,000 garbage pile, but you will have a lot of fun on it. You know what? And don't listen to the people. The people
you have a blast on that thing, man.
What's that?
You have a blast on that, man.
I do.
Yeah.
I have so much fun on it.
That bike.
You know, and it's the kind of motorcycle. Think about it this way: do you want to take your $30,000 out when the roads have a little bit of salt on? Do you want to take your $6,000 bike? It's like, you know, but it doesn't much matter. A lot of fun on the gravel with it, but the parts are so inexpensive. I ordered a new exhaust for it they come from India. Most parts come from India. And I ordered it on a Saturday, and it was at my house like Wednesday or Thursday. It's like, how does it get through customs so fast? You know, but they must have a good supply chain because they sure do get the parts.
Somebody does at least.
Yeah. Don't let Colin order parts out of the country for you. But
you know, Colin, when I bought it, I was thinking of your video, and I'm thinking, I hope I don't get hit with some kind of like, you know, $600 in shipping charges going through customs.
Oh, that pissed me off.
Oh, I'm sure it would, because, you know, if they didn't tell you that ahead of time.
Look, he just got through therapy with that. We got to.
Yeah, it's taken me a couple months to get past that. Thanks for bringing that up and opening up that wound.
I'm waiting right now for the high flow air cleaner. It's coming out of the UK. So I emailed them this morning and said, like, do you have any idea of like shipping or like when's it going to ship? You know, so we'll see how their supply chain is.
I know you have a second channel for motorcycles. And I know that you really have a kind of a little bit of a different audience. And I was talking to Anonymous Biker today because I think that he's considering maybe one of those bikes down the road as well as some other ones too. And I said, man, are they really that popular? And he said the same thing you did, and that Ricky's saying is they are really popular outside of the U.S.
It's funny because we were watching, myself and Miss Seychelles was watching a video from somebody out of somewhere. I think they were in, I don't know, UK somewhere, whatever. But it was funny that I told her, I said, you don't see a whole lot of Harley Davidson in that parking lot. I mean, you not just Himalayans or Royal Enfield, but you've seen Yamahas, Kawasaki's, tons of Hondas. And she said, well, if you think about it, Harley is an American brand. You know, Americans want Harleys. And I said, maybe that's the case, but, you know, I just didn't see a whole lot. Or maybe there's just not a lot of dealers overseas. And I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah. Hey, Jack, you know, a lot of our friends that are in the chat are content creators, right? And you made kind of the choice to have a different channel on purpose. You still glad you did that?
I am. And some people have been contacting me on the Jack's Rides channel and asking me, will I introduce any Harley content on there? And I said, yeah, you probably need to go to the Harley Day Rider channel for the Harley content. It's also interesting to see. The only problem you got with a new channel, remember, if you have an audience and you're monetized already and everything's going pretty well for you, you're starting back from ground zero. You know, you have to think about that. Like right now, that channel has, I don't know, like 540 subscribers or something. And to me, that's a blast. But the watch hours they're like 3,700 already. So, I mean, the one video on there has 10,000 views. Now think about if I would have put down a Harley Day Ride channel, how much money would that have made me? But yeah, I'm still pretty happy that I did split them. When I put the first Himalayan video up on the Harley Day Ride channel, I got a lot of blowback, and people weren't really impressed by it. So I thought, well, why not create another channel?
Man, all I know is I hear your voice and see your smile when you got your helmet off when you're riding that bike.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun, you know. And I still say a lot of thanks to Colin, and like on my last video, I talked about Colin and Pete's 1800, because when we were at VAM, they're like, yeah, guys, we're going to be leaving you here, and we're going up over the dusty trails over, you know, through the woods there. And it just clicks something in your head. It's like, that could be so different riding. It could be something so much more fun. I never wanted an adventure bike. That's not something I even looked at. I love riding on the street. You know, I always said you can't hit a tree when you're riding in the middle of the street, right? So, but
it's not everybody's bag, but man, I love it. It's very
I do too. It's just it's something to do that's just different, you know. So
hey, Bob, I mean we've talked about, like, you know, some upcoming rides, and Road Glide 911. I thought that was Ride the Snake. He talked about Ty coming up. Remember that last year when we rode that, Jack?
Yeah.
I love that road.
Oh, that Snake. That
was right by Bristol, right? If I remember right, it was right by Bristol.
And it was better than the back of the Dragon.
I love that.
Just
that was
an amazing road.
Be the Rider PA took us on that, right? Yep.
He's a human GPS. You guys know. Remember, we rode with him when we were. Where did we go? We were up in the not the Appalachian Mountains, Allegheny Mountains. Remember, you guys came down.
Yep, Allegheny up in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, he's a good tour guide.
Was he leading, Jack? Did you see him after the first mile?
There was a couple times. Hey, Bob, there was a couple times. It's like when you're riding with Colin, you're on the conch like, hey, Colin, hey, he was gone. He got on his back roads and he was so far ahead of us, and I felt bad. I was slowing my two adventure riders down behind me. I just watched and I could see like Pete and Colin coming right up my butt, and because they were crank. Well, they didn't crank those bikes, you know what I mean? So, but
yeah, that was a good time. We had Jackie and his bride were with us. He just said, "In the real Jackie boy."
Yeah, and their friend too was with us.
That was a great day. We had a good time.
It was a good day.
I didn't need to jump in, Bob. I know you want to talk about some of the mods you've done. You've done a couple, right?
I have. I had this great philosophy that Ty and I were going to stay true, and we were not going to get an adventure bike. So I decided to use some of that money to mod up my Road Glide Limited. So I did get to put the front suspension on Axio to go with the rear suspension I put on last year. Looking forward to how that'll feel. I did put a new header on, and I did do a full stage 2 on it. So it sure sounded good coming off the truck into my garage. But other than that, I can't tell you how much I'm going to like it. But I'm pretty excited about it. I really started a problem today because I made this little short about taking off the tour pack. And I think some people are wanting to disown me for even thinking about it. So now I'm definitely going to take the tour pack on and off. But pretty excited about that. So the idea was to spend that money on a little bit of that money on the bike. And, of course, now I'm hot and heavy on an ADV that I'll be talking about here down the road, hopefully. And then it'll just be Ty. And then Ty will have to get one or he'll be out of the group. So, but I'd still like to see
the 5 of us do that BDR, Colin. I think it's out of Maryland into Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it is. Bob, and I know, Jack, you have this whole theory on, and I was the one in the beginning about the detachable tour pack. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to take that off all the time. I like that stripped down look. Take it out one time in 2 years, taking it off. So it never comes off now. I'm just so used to it. So when you say you're going to take it off, do you really? I don't.
It is nice to have it.
Absolutely, you could take it off, but
it is nice to have the option. You know what I mean? I think it's like I like taking off this time of year when I'm riding by myself. When Miss Fisher is with me, though, like Bob, like I'm sure when Dawn is riding with you, I'm sure you're going to want it on then. It's just comfortable for them.
Sure. Bob, you've done a lot, man. That's cool, man.
You did a lot on the bike.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And I'm and probably a little bit crazy, going through that little midlife crisis of, the bike. I know the bike runs better. I know it will handle different with the suspension and the stage 2. Pretty excited about it, and taking some of the weight off it is interesting too. So
did you buy?
Remember, if I kill myself out on the road, I went happy. So.
Did you buy like a Porsche too, like your midlife sports car?
The Porsche.
A Porsche.
I'm not Tesla. You guys I'm a truck guy. I gotta have a truck.
Yeah, I'm a truck. I'm a truck guy.
I can't even sit in a car. It drives me crazy. I gotta be in a truck. I have to get off track.
All right. Speaking of track, what is your dumbest motorcycle trip or planning that you have done?
That stumps me. Dumbest motorcycle planning. I can tell you that one day I think I was riding to Skyline Drive, which is out in by me. It's about 2 hours from me in Virginia. And I was thinking I could beat the rain. And I figured that, while it was cloudy that day, they only called for a chance of like 20-30%. So I went ahead and made that decision, and it rained almost 75-80% of the day. And I didn't have my rain suit with me. So that sucked. So I was a little wet by the end of the day, but I had fun. But if I were to do it again, I would have planned a little bit better. I know that's kind of a lame attempt at the dumbest motorcycle planning, but that's something that came to mind right away, that you got to plan for the worst. Now that thing's always in my saddlebag or tour pack. But something like that, I'm always keeping. Jack, how about you?
Well, you guys know that I don't do a lot of the planning. Mrs. HR kind of plans and figures out. I mean, other than pointing us in a direction. But the worst day, Colin, like you're talking days, the worst day after we left you guys last year, and we were going down to see Saddle Tramp, and we were going to go visit him in Mississippi. So we came out of the hotel. It was raining all night, right? Dried the bike off. Came out of the hotel, had our rain gear on, stopped for gas, like, wow, it's clearing up, looks pretty good. Took the rain gear off, put it away, pulled out of the gas station, and we got nailed like a typhoon, man. Checked the radar, and there was nothing but rain for the next 3 days from where we were all the way to Mississippi. So we changed, pointed the bike towards the north, and we started going back up north. And so we had to stop again and put all the rain gear back on. But
well, here, I think, because I can't remember if it was just me being a dumbass last year or you guys were with me. When we went to Ohio and we saw the monsoon coming, and we said, oh, what's the worst thing that could happen? We're going to go right through it. I forgot to put my rain pants on.
And we told you put your rain pants on. We said,
no,
I'm good.
What could go wrong?
But I thought you guys didn't wear your pants either. Well,
no, we didn't.
I'm going down the wrong road with that one. But
we were out in public, Colin. You got to stop doing that.
Public. Sorry, I forgot I got arrested.
Colin, I don't think I did either. I didn't have my pants.
Because I thought I was like,
because I got drenched too.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if all three of us like, yeah, that's a good idea. The blue jeans will absorb water or repel water. Didn't work.
That's the day the three of us were almost a memory for all our friends here. They'd be talking about us. Remember when those three guys died when they were out on a motovlog together? Because
see, now they're talking about me not having pants.
I wonder if we would have got electrocuted. Would the GoPros of video stayed on the?
I'm not wearing pants now.
All right, so we'll move on. What got me to ask this question was tomorrow morning I am flying to Orlando for a week.
Oh, yes.
Business. And I'm flying back Friday. And I think Bike Week, less than an hour away, starts on Saturday. And I knew this was happening, and I could have easily made this 2 weeks. Just dumb.
You're an idiot.
Thanks, dude. Thanks for the dumb
confidence boost.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? I deserve it, dude, or I wouldn't have brought it up, right? So, Colin, you miss doing this, man?
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, I think this is the first time, because normally, guys, when we talk, the three of us or five or six of us now, it's all through text. We don't like FaceTime each other or anything. That's kind of weird. But like, this is the first time the three of us, I think, have been on 5-6 months that we've actually been on a camera together. Yep. Missing out hanging out with you guys, even though we've all been extremely busy and we've been talking about getting back on. And unfortunately, I've been kind of the common denominator, throwing some things a little bit of whack because I haven't been able to get on. But
yeah, you screwed us.
I enjoy it. I take the blame for it. But I miss the camaraderie in the side chat. Obviously, like everybody cutting up and having a great time. It's a great group of people that join us, and seeing all our friends, the people we've rode with, the people we haven't rode with, the people we will ride with. It's what it's all about.
Sure. How about you, HDR? Even though you've blown up the internet with Saturday Morning Coffee with HDR, I feel like I'm just hanging on your coattails doing this. So.
The Saturday morning thing is kind of cool. I mean, the hardest thing I had with the Fireside Chat is when we, like Colin was saying about the time, is taking the time to find a guest, making sure their internet's working properly, getting enough content ready for it. Tonight's wonderful. We're just kind of shooting a breeze. And I think that's what it's all about. That's kind of where we started some years ago. Just finding out what's going on. But Colin, you're right. And Bob, you're right. Even with the Saturday morning chat, both you guys have been in there. The chat room is what drives the show. And it can obviously drive us here. I mean, people are talking about great things. Got great people in there that follow all three of us. Some follow one of us, and they're still all coming in to see what's going on. So that's a great thing. And anytime you can pull the motorcycle community together, guys, it's a bonus.
Hey, Bert, I would love to come down and take Colin's place, and I will not bring a backpack. So if you,
that was 2 years ago.
Dude, that's a 20-year move. We talk about that for 20 years. So
the backpack.
Yeah, the backpack boy. That's what we should call him, the backpack boy. So, me too. It's funny. We talked about doing this. Everybody gets such a crazy life, especially in the summer when you're on a ride. And, Colin had some stuff. Jack had some stuff. I had it. It's really hard sometimes to put it together. The people that do that all the time, it's amazing. I know Bry does it. Beard does. All those guys. There's a lot of people of our friends that do that. It's hard, especially if you have guests. And then once we decided to just make it 3 of us and we got through some of those life things, every time we do one of these, I stop and go, man, we got to keep doing that more and more, right? Just because of what you guys said, right? So, all right. By the way, I am convinced, Jack, you talked about it. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate that, man. Andy, are you DeBeard's twin brother, by the way, dude?
Looks like, look at that beard.
That is DeBeard too. But thank you, Andy. I will tell you, I hope to think that people like my channel, but if I ever got rid of the Road King, I'd have about 2 subs and people at my house. So, all right, now this is the segment that the 3 of us are going to take. Joking at each other, right? So we're going to take that in that method. Is that okay, Colin and Jack? In that tone,
yep.
where we know
depends on the questions.
It's a little late for that. So everybody, if you can, that's in the chat, we need your help with these. But these are true and false. Fireside chat is back because one of us is finally out on parole. True or false, Colin? Focus, Colin. Focus.
I put my message. I put it in the chat.
True. And Jack, how about you?
A
lot of people are saying true.
I'd say false.
False. All 3 of you are on parole. Hey, little cranky guy. Good to see you again, man.
Yeah, I like Robin's answer. I wish it felt true.
Yeah. Robin's got out of control since she went over the pond. Did you guys notice that? My answer to that is it is false.
Completely 100% false.
Our parole is over now, so that doesn't count anymore, right? We were on parole, now we're out. So
what happens to bad bikers like us? They lock you up every now and then.
You did hear earlier, Colin took credit for us not being on, so you pick who you think it is. So, all right. The second true or false question. Now, this one is a little concerning for our reputation, but can 5 grown men text more than teenage girls?
You should have gave this to our wives, not us.
So, guys, just
he said, can 5 grown men text more than 5 teenage girls?
Yes, absolutely true. And I have to mute you guys because sometimes all these guys have these jobs where they can text all day. And I hear ding, 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 ding. I mean, nonstop. And I'll have to go on here. Effers, I'm in a meeting, mute. And I go back and there's literally probably 200 texts I got to go through.
Dude, but you never respond to them. Can you just go? What are you doing in the bathroom? That's where you're supposed to text us back. So,
wait a minute, my phone's dinging. Got to run to the bathroom.
That's right. Obviously, Colin, again, stuff that's more important than us to him, apparently. So, Jack, how about you? Is it possible that we 5 men can text more than teenage girls?
Oh, it's horrible.
I have been told that. Matter of fact, this morning, if you remember, we started texting early. Was it this morning or yesterday morning? Might have been yesterday morning. Miss H came out of bed and said, "Who are you talking to already?" And I just said, she goes, "Oh, the boys." So it's just like it's hey,
it's nonstop.
So for those of you who don't know, our text network has the 3 of us, now includes Ty from Tennessee and Pete's 1800. So now there's 5 of us. some of us, Jack, gets up at 4 a.m. and texts, but I will say it is kind of funny. And Ty, it all started with Ty saying, "I hate group texts," and since he said that, that's all we've done, and could be a little embarrassing.
Good thing we don't get charged by the text message anymore, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I like what Andy said. If you ever seen your daughter do that or your kid do that, they're so fast. When I text my older sister, I tell her, you can talk into it, and all I see is like ... when my sister texts me, and I come back an hour later, it's still ... and she corrects.
You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful when you're talking into it. Sometimes it doesn't get the right message across.
Okay. I have to share this, Bob, if this is okay. So like on your iPhone, you guys can do this when you delete it, and you can go back and see how much you've deleted. In the past 10 days, 4,699 messages.
Wait a minute. Wait, you delete them?
Are you shitting me?
Guys, I keep those forever, close to my heart.
I don't know if you could see that. 4,000. 699.
That was in 3 days?
That was in 10 days.
10 days. Wow.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
We might have a problem.
At first, I thought this was just kind of a funny little question, but that's a little bit concerning.
That's really bad.
Yeah, maybe we should. Yeah. So now all of us are not included or offended. Yeah, but to be we included you, but you kept cussing at us, right? So
4,000. Holy shit.
Thanks for that. Is it possible that our wives are jealous of our man crushes?
Yeah.
Does your wife give you a hard time about the 5 text with your buddies going on?
Nope. That way she didn't have to talk to me, so it makes it easier.
No, I can see that too. Jack?
Yeah, I would say so. But you guys know that I always let you know in the evening it's TV time. And then I usually kind of bow out. So, I split my time evenly. I give you guys 18 hours of the day, and Mrs. HCR gets the other part. Pretty even.
By the way, Ty's wife officially hates me. Just to be clear, he bought a bike. Jackie's like what you did to me. I bought a bike because of your big mouth to my wife, and apparently I'm in trouble in his house too. So I'm sorry, Mrs. Tennessee. I won't do that anymore. But yes, my wife does say she's a little bit concerned about the relationship of the 5 of us. So, see, Bri the biker. Yep. Yeah, we get it, brother. We get it. I'll tell you what, I'm a little concerned now. I'm seeing people talk. I do text Anonymous Biker and Bri the Bike. Man, I think I have an issue. I got to get off the damn phone. Holy crap. All right. Now, we talked about nobody's going to take offense on this next question, so I'm going to need a true or false from everybody. Jack now has 34 YouTube channels.
I know that's false, but you have, I think, is it correct me if I'm wrong? You have 10 or 9? I thought it was double digits. You had
10. I took it down to 8, and then I added 2 more. I think I have a problem.
But didn't you take it down because you had too many?
I did.
It was. I loved it because you were just like, it's too much. I got to get focused. I love it, and you were doing so great, and it's gone now.
Wait, I'm going to look right now. Because I just want to know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 channels. So what I do is when I'm at work and the kids talk to me, because they all subscribe to my channel, so now I got to watch what I say. But they all, and they're like, well, why don't you start a channel about programming? Or why don't you start a channel about how to build networks? I'm like, those sound pretty cool. So then I start putting those together. So now are they all actually active? Like Jack's Kitchen, I think I have 4 cooking videos up there, and I haven't really done any more because your wife kind of gets spazzed out when you put 3 cameras in the kitchen, like up on the cabinets, facing down and all that. So
yeah, they get
all the
upset. They get
cables
upset
and the
about
lights.
those hidden cameras, Jack. Don't do that.
Yeah, you got to settle like camera stuff up. So, but
Bob, you only have one, right? Or do you have more than that?
I have one.
One.
Should I get another motorcycle? Maybe I'll have a second. I'm not convinced I'm going to do that or not. I actually may get another motorcycle and not put it on any channel. So we will see how that goes. But I am following Jack's lead on that. And I was kidding; it wasn't 34, but I feel a little guilty, Jack, because I think I'm only subscribed to 4 or 5 of them. It does makes me feel like a bad friend. So if you could send me all of them, I would appreciate that, so I can feel better about myself.
There's the 4. The 4 is the main ones I'm working on right now. Like Photoshop Elements TV is a big one. Jack's Tech Hut is a new one I'm working on about hacking. Harley Day Rider, of course, and Jack's Rides. Those are the 4 main ones. And it's funny because the Photoshop Elements TV, the last video I posted was maybe a month ago, and it just keeps building subscribers. Like, why are they subscribing? It's like, so now I feel obligated to start putting new content up there. So I'll have to be working on that.
Sorry, read some of these comments.
Oh,
You're bitter.
You know what, dude? Texting just went up because of tonight. So, yeah, and that's some cool stuff, Jack. And by the way, as somebody who has hung out with you, you should do the cooking channel because you're pretty good at that. And we are counting on you to be in prime form when we get to Ohio. So I asked this question because somebody said it to me. Do you think people are sick and tired of us talking about getting another bike? Colin, you don't even know where your bikes are at, so I'm not sure it applies to you. But are you sick and tired of other people, Jack, me, talking about getting another bike?
Well, Bob, you've been talking about what, a year now? About getting an ADV?
Maybe
a year and a half. I don't remember. I mean, seriously, has it been that long? About a year and a half?
I don't think it's been that long, but it could be, dude. Maybe that's why
yeah,
people are saying
talking about doing a couple other bikes for about what, a year and a half? Is that accurate?
What's that? Who,
Get
me?
another bike, yeah. And then
yeah. I talked about it for a long time.
So shut up and do it.
Yeah. Just shut up and buy the bike.
You know, Colin,
no,
that's one thing
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if it is. I mean, I think I want to see what people say on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Colin really didn't talk about long. If you remember, Colin told us he put money down on the Pan America before they were ever even delivered. I remember he went in and he pre-ordered, and then it wasn't long when they came out, he was riding it home, and then he started talking about it. So, yeah, I think you have a good point, Bob. So,
why delay it?
Like, I've talked so much about trading my bike now. People are like, "Yeah, you're full of crap. You'll never trade that motorcycle." And now they're probably right because, guys, 3 more payments and the bank don't own it anymore. It's going to be mine. So, and that's hard to that's hard to say, because then that's when all the upgrades can start, right? Because you don't have that payment anymore. Then you could do whatever you want, So
the best day
if you don't buy a
Harley.
Yeah, if we don't have a Harley, we won't have to do all that upgrade
when you
stuff.
Can pay off your bike. That's what I said.
That's what they say. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would tell you that on the last video, there have had 3 or 4 people say, "Dude, just buy it." Right? Yeah, Colin's one of those guys. If you want sensitive, and he sees something you're doing, he'll just go, "Dude, shut up already. We just go do it." Right? So, in some weird way, I appreciate that, and I'm not sure why. So,
well, we're not getting any younger, guys. So it's like I always tell people, I'm closer to the end than I was the beginning, so I better enjoy it pretty soon.
All I know is if I buy an ADV bike, Ty better have one in his damn garage in 6 months, or there's going to be some problems, and he'll be out of the text trends. Right? He can go with the beard and Bry text because he's out if he doesn't buy one. So, all right. Do we potentially need bail money in Ohio? Yes.
Yeah,
Colin?
we almost needed it last time.
We did. We did.
I mean, we're pretty cool, calm, and collected, but when we get together, we do have some debauchery going on. So, could happen.
Just think if my drone would have flew through somebody's car window or something, we probably would need bail money when they decide to leave.
Still one of the funniest things I ever saw. I got to say it again real quick. Jack had Colin's old drone. Colin was gifted it to him, which was awesome, right? And and we're in a house, and Jack took it up. We were on the front with our drones. He was on the back. And Jack ran around going, it took off. It took off. It just took off. I don't know what to do. Colin runs around because he's an expert at drones. He's very good at it. It was his drone. And Colin is trying to get it back. And Colin is sweating, freaked out about it. Jack is beside himself. And I'm trying to find out where I can get my camera gear because I think it's funny as shit.
I wish you could have filmed that.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Dude, it was
Colin had sweat. When I ran around, I just
I'm gonna get this thing
at him. It's like, here, dude. It's like
he throws me the remote. Figure it out.
He starts.
It was
sweating.
your
He's
drone,
like,
damn it.
Then Bob comes around. Don't worry, guys. When the battery runs down, it'll come back. And we're like, oh.
Imagine that. It did. Go ahead. Hey, you notice how I didn't tell you that right away? I wanted to see you guys get a little more stirred up before I told you about that, but
oh man,
I get it. One of definitely the funniest things. But that's going to be Ohio's going to be a lot of fun. Look forward to meeting with some people and riding and seeing the windy 9, right, Jack?
Yeah. How many videos we started, huh? With the windy 9.
It has been so long. True or false? Is Fireside Chat done? Because some people said, what did they say? Because people have been saying, are you guys coming back? We're sick of talking about it.
It's kind of like getting the third bike.
Okay, we got one false.
False? Okay, good. All right, false. That is absolutely false, right, guys?
That's right.
Oh, I thought it was true. No, yes, it's false.
We don't know what the schedule will be.
It is not done, but we are kind of on a.
We're on a floating schedule. A floating schedule right now.
Again, because of me, I screw everything up.
Sometimes somebody in the band wants to go and be a solo player. That happens, you know.
That happens.
That happens. Colin has to get moved, you know. Hey, Colin, here's what I want you to do. Before you pick a house, call the phone company and call the cable company and make sure, see what kind of internet that house has.
I already do. Man, that's first question. What's the upload speed?
First question. That's right.
And before your wife likes it, do a speed test when you're in the house.
I am. Look what Bry put, and I completely agree with this. Bob and I were talking about this earlier, the 7 p.m.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
I agree. So we like the 7 p.m. better than
6 o'clock. A lot of guys are still riding, you know, so or sitting down to dinner. So, you know,
I say if Bryce says 7 p.m., it shall be, right?
Yeah, that's a given.
Yeah. All right, and we do this right just to kind of hang out. This has been kind of a fun hour of just talking to people and laughing at each other and figuring out how we're going to get on the Bry and DeBeard text thing. It's pretty cool just hanging out with people. And I know Robin kind of talked about she definitely needs 7 p.m. because she's in Australia. So she's having breakfast or getting up early, and I hear she's not a woman or a morning person, so we got to make it a little bit later for her so she's in a good mood.
Was a slip.
Yeah.
Did you just say she wasn't a woman?
Yeah. How did that happen?
Sorry, friend.
Uh-oh.
Oh yes. She is. So, no, Colin, any thoughts? I mean, this is kind of cool, just hanging out and seeing everybody again, isn't it?
100% true, dude. 100% true. I love it. It's fun doing these things, man. They're cool.
I was thinking that this morning. I couldn't remember when the last time we talked face to face was. You know, we text all the time, but it's just different when you're kind of face to face. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Mm.
We are having a wonderful time.
I am so glad.
The only thing that could be better than this would be the three of us sitting in a sauna smoking a cigar.
Can you guys all go there now?
What? No, we're busy right now.
Go to a sauna away from all of us wives and do do whatever.
Oh yeah, we can join. We can go to the sauna. You guys want to go to the
That-
sauna? Oh, just
that
one. No,
is
that was Mrs. HDR. I'm
Bob,
just saying.
this conversation's getting off track, man.
What he said?
Yeah. Oh,
What about
Robin,
being
I'm
in the
sorry.
sauna together and having cigars? I don't know.
You could be like wherever.
Oh no, she said go wherever for a couple weeks together. Just leave the wives at
Just a
home.
couple days.
Oh, a couple days. We are, and we're going to own.
Please.
We would
take
miss
me
you
with
terribly. We can't do that. That sounds like
We're gonna-
permission, men. So let's definitely do that. So
Definitely.
hey, huge thank you to everybody. Right now, I'm going to go try to figure out how I'm going to talk to Robin, because I just inserted my foot. But
Oh, you
thanks to
still-
everybody, gentlemen. It's good seeing you guys, and I look forward to us being in Ohio with a bunch of our friends that are in the chat tonight. And be safe out there, and make sure you check on a friend and enjoy the ride. And we will see you soon. We'll make sure we communicate when the next Sunday night is, but it'll be soon. Thanks, everybody.
Bye,
See you
guys.
guys. Good night.